conversation.
We're back at it again, and I see messages here. You are typing. Stop typing and deleting. Just send your messages through. It's Youth in Agriculture with Hugh Sibanda, Young Farmers Federation, and this is the Capital Drive with me, Jeff Murimbeji, standing in for Farai Gwaze. This segment is called The Business Consultant, and we're talking about financial models and business models in the commercial sector to do with farming. And the big issue was always around are Zimbabweans benefiting from this? Is it the bank's fault? Is it the government's fault? Is it our fault? I called this out and said, Vamwedu, we were not credible people. The government has, for many years, every year, whether things are good or bad, has always made a plan for us to have access to financing. Now, you were telling me that government has put in structures and assisted banks to say, specifically for guys like Jeff, for guys like Tendai, and Amelis and whoever it is, they can go to a bank and say, I want to start this project. I have someone who's going to take, let's say, for example, company X Capital wants to buy all of my my produce for the next 3 years, but I need a starting point.
Okay, look, Jeff, let's really take off the gloves here, right? And we wanna deal with some assumptions that people might incorporate into what we're advocating for here and deal with them. We're on this platform because we don't want to advocate for a banking system which rewards laziness, which rewards dishonesty, which rewards people with flimsy ideas, which rewards people who are not willing to come up to the table with full requirements, right? I want to be very categorical and say, what we are advocating for, or the people that we're speaking for today, are the people like yourself and myself, right, who are young, solid idea, solid proposal, track record in terms of, if we say you're a radio personality, you've got a bit of track record to say, look, I've been doing this, and I want to be taken to the next level, right? These are the caliber of young people that we're speaking on behalf of here. So we don't want people to say, no. What we're talking about here is a situation, like you're correctly saying, where in any other country, Jeff, somebody who's my age, somebody who's your age, they shouldn't be struggling to buy bread, to pay rent, or to just live a normal life, right? Our parents, when they were our age, the reality of the situation is pay, yaikwana kutenga grocery, kubhadhara school fees, not just yako, but yana bamnini nana mainini waigona chikoro vese vaibhadharirwa school fees.
And the grant use it chero right to this
kuchikoro. And you understand? And by tumidzwa grocery kumusha pachisara change, right? Now people have to go into a bank to get a salary-based loan so that they can achieve school fees, cover gepre school fees. And that is the predominant funding that we're seeing in these banks that are supposed to empower people and in the normal banks. And we're saying, we want to move it forward. Remember, we gave context. Look, we're coming from 20 years of recession, and we're not being serious about moving the country forward. So what are we saying here? We're saying, look, we've been given a very unique opportunity where in a country there's an actual bank that has been funded by the government, which is saying previously disadvantaged people, go here with your good ideas, solid proposal, and your good standing in society, and you will get help. But then the previously disadvantaged person is being told, right, on top of all this, give us collateral, give us something which shows you have capacity to borrow anyway.
But how can the bank do this, yet the bank was given collateral-free capital from the government?
From the government, from the taxpayer.
From the taxpayer, Okay, because when you go to other countries, I'll give you an example. When you go to the United States, the fact that you are American, you've got access to certain benefits.
South Africa,
South Africa, you can start grade 1 kushika pakuta PhD, which one mabezari, if you want to start a business. Botswana, they are screaming out in advertising to say, come through and get these loans and be empowered. Why are our banks doing this, and how do they benefit?
I'll even bring it closer to home, Jeff. I'm an economics student who came from South Africa, chose to forego employment opportunities there, came here and said, this is my home, I want to play my part and I want to do something. But my status as a young Zimbabwean means nothing, even to the guys that are supposed to be supporting me, even to the guys that are supposed to be empowering me with money that that they're getting from the populace. It's a situation that we need to really bring to bear. And I don't think I want people to understand this. I don't think this is an attack on bankers or banking or the banking stakeholders. I think this is an attack on mindset around banking. And I'll give you an example. And I discussed this in the morning. There was a time in Zimbabwe where if you did not have a pay slip, why is going over a bank account? Even though it's taking a time. Why is going over a bank account? There was a time where even we use that student, which you got on campus, when to pay proof of residence. Otherwise, I'll for a bank account.
Oh my gosh.
But the guys came in and said, we need to change our mindset around this aspect of banking. Yo, unza $5 and it ne ID yako tokuvurira bank account. That was the shift in how you view banking. And that is the sort of shift that we're advocating for when it comes to issue a collateral. There are models, Jeff, like you said, the invoice discounting model, which doesn't need collateral. There are pay for success models, which simply say, listen, if somebody is willing to give you a tractor and a center pivot or mining equipment or whatever you need to get production going, if that person gives it to you as a bank, will come on the back end, and then tozo dilanewe. Ukataza will take that tractor away from you, will take that center pivot away from you. As it doesn't put you in that precarious position where you have to go to your mom and dad and ask for a title deed. And it doesn't put us in a precarious position where money is just sitting in these banks. And people are drawing salaries every month from that money, but they're not lending the money. We need to be very...
you know what?
Yeah.
The Capital listener is a listener who's got access to internet, a listener who researches further about what we are talking about. Let's give you an example. I'd like everyone to just Google, whether we're done with the show, during the show, the success story of what makes Dubai such a great nation. They have no rain.
Yeah.
They have no crops. They have no minerals. They have nothing. All they have is oil. And if you go a step further and Google what is the principle of Islamic finance, this is when the bank does not charge you interest for certain things like this. This is when the bank is saying, you and I are in a partnership. You are the farmer, I am the banker. And there's the third godfather who is saying, I am the government.
Yeah.
And then the three of you come together to say, we all own this thing. Because for the government, no farmer employs less than 20 people. If you're employing less than 20 people,
Precisely.
That's 20 people who are now employed.
Yeah.
Multiply that by 100, that's something else.
Yeah.
And for the bank, that means now you have money that is going in and out. Just the transactional income from that, money that's being withdrawn, money that's staying in there.
Jeff, tambotara nyema $5 accounts. This is a case study that people need to pay attention. Remember, my $5 accounts akazo ne mobile money, right? And now it's $1 billion turnover, industry. And on 2% mobile money tax, government is raking in significant amounts of. This is what happens when you change your mindset. And we're not saying kuti look, banks haven't been burnt before. You've said it, kuti vamwe vanhu vaisvika pakutengesa diesel rapiwa vaipiwa zvikwereti and they wouldn't pay. We're saying we acknowledge this, but we need to move forward as a nation.
Yes.
Because the most dangerous thing for a nation that's stagnant and in a recession like this is holding on to money. Yeah. If you hold on to liquidity, how many economists I will tell you can forget about 2030 tinoshika 2099 pasina growth. And it becomes a vicious cycle where you think if you maintain this trajectory for the next 3 years, you've got virtually no economy to speak about, because everybody is in the streets kia, and you don't want a situation like that. If you want people to start moving, if you want the economy to start moving, banks need to start lending, and it's the mandate of the public banks. If you say you're going to empower people, empower them. Don't say we want to empower you and then you do the exact same thing. I would go and get a normal commercial bank.
I think at this point in time, let's call out all the banks in the country, including the government. If you are going to be a part of this process, you have all of these PhDs, you have master's students, you've got all of the experts, you've got all of, you know, the business models are all within the banks. I'll take, for example,